This is a Tape Deck podcast.
Hello, and welcome to We'll Run For. This is your host, Tom, and with me as always are Aaron.
Hello.
Michael.
Hello.
And Diana.
Hello.
Diana.
Did I go out of order?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think
right.
that's how you normally do
That's
it.
usually, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think we're good.
Yeah,
It always feels like the first time.
always.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Kind
gosh.
of is.
And
Yeah.
we had an
First
actual
time.
professional on our podcast for Inside the Runner
Yes.
Studio. And whenever we have someone that's like actually good, we just sound like clowns. Like,
Yeah, I mean, we said it right at the beginning of that episode too, because I re-listened this morning, and it was like, you have a professional radio voice, and we feel like we are not worthy.
not where they.
Shout out to Bob from Rise and Run.
Oh, so great.
Yes,
Loved
so
it.
good.
I was just going to say, I was listening to Running on Tap. They were doing some homebrew stuff. They always
Ooh.
give us a nice shout out. And
yeah.
also, they are still soliciting reviews for you to run 5 miles for, by the way, in case you were
Oh, really?
unaware.
If we keep getting random 5 mile.
Yeah,
That's
Request.
amazing.
They're talking about how much we all hate the cold too. So
Yeah,
it was
Tom will run 5 miles if we get a 5-star review. So please, everybody go review and say you want Tom to run 5 miles.
Please.
I love it.
oh my god.
Tom needs the motivation. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh,
Oh
gosh.
boy.
I guess we could jump right into that. Do we have any new 5-star reviews?
Ooh, transition.
We do.
Oh gosh, it's a good one too.
Okay, we got a 5-star review from
Brooke was her name. Sorry, I
You
don't think I
did
put
not put the handle.
I'm sorry.
If you find the handle,
that is
we'll
my
say it afterwards.
fault.
Look up that handle.
I'm
real
looking
quick.
it up right now, but her name is Brooke, right?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's like Sham Wow or something. We just
Sham
started.
Wow?
No, it's something like that. We just started following her on Instagram.
So, all right. Remember, 5-star reviews. Get 5 miles from Tom. Also, we really appreciate when you share the show and give us reviews. So, all because the knob, as we all know, rocking the knob, of course. Long review alert. I stumbled upon this pod after rocking the knob. Did my first knob race, half marathon, in 2021. At an aid station, I heard someone say, I'm not going to yell at you this time. Later, when I found your podcast, I understood why.
That's amazing.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
This
God,
will be
that's
long
embarrassing.
since I binged your entire library and took notes.
Oh, wow.
I'm a-
She took notes.
She took notes.
It's amazing.
I
This is
love
kind
it.
of like a hybrid feedback review.
I
So
love
I'm going to go
it.
into the whole thing because it's kind of fun. I binged your entire library and took notes too. I'm a teacher, so it goes with the territory.
Mm.
Keep it short. I'm a hookah snob. I love the marshmallows on my feet. Tool. I don't think they have any songs under 11 minutes long. Not the best to run to.
True.
Flip belt.
It's funny because Tom's going to a Tool concert tomorrow.
Yep.
Oh my God, is that tomorrow? Oh God, that's amazing. Flip belt all the way. Music, Hamilton and Greatest Showman and Pink. Chafing, favorite episode. Been very lucky and never had any major blowouts. Tried Squirrel's Nut Butter at a race when we forgot our stuff, and it was great. Anyone ever tried diaper cream?
Ooh, I have. That's what I use when I chafe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. You did say that. Yeah. So Disney went for the first time in February of 2022. Real
Oh, it's
reason.
in like this past month or
I guess
this month.
right
okay.
now. Yeah,
Woo.
recently. Real reason was for Universal Harry Potter, and I never need to go back again. I get that. Yeah.
I love that.
Well, I mean, it's been crazy busy.
It's been
Honestly,
insane.
not-
Disney.
Yeah.
So if the crowds were like ridiculous, I could understand
Yeah.
why you wouldn't want to go back
Well,
to
no,
Disney
it's
if it's your
just-
first experience.
For some people, it's like they don't need to go back.
To each their own.
Totally cool.
No,
Yeah.
I agree. I'm just saying
Yeah.
that the crowds would definitely be a turnoff if I had never been there before.
Oh, for sure. But yeah, I mean, just for some people, it's not their thing.
Sorry, this next part.
Yeah, this is
made me
hilarious.
giggle.
We must have been talking about beds in a hotel at some point. So 2 beds in a hotel. Yes, a sex bed and a sleep bed.
Yep.
Or if it's Tom and I, 2 sleep beds.
Peloton Snob. Had my bike since 2016. Added Tom and hashtags my profile. For a good strength program, join Hardcore on the Floor on Facebook. My hubby and I committed to running a half marathon every month in 2021. We did it along with an accidental marathon, first for her, and also an accidental 50K.
Oh, my
Those
gosh.
happen sometimes. Fell in love with trail running, and most of our runs have been in the dirt. Yes. No, Tom, we have not twisted any ankles either, and I have bad ankles.
Yeah.
Thank you for the awesome podcast, the best relaxing podcast, just like chatting with friends. No stress, just positive, motivational. Great pod for all runners. So that was a super fun review, so thank you.
Yeah,
Yes.
thanks. I love that. And she mentioned hardcore on the floor, and I'm part of that group, and I actually just added Maria to that group because
Oh,
we're
nice.
doing insane arm challenges right now.
Amazing.
Sounds amazing.
It sucks.
All right. She is Sham Wows 28 on Instagram. Her Apple handle though was B Shambach
Mm. you go.
7602
All right.
for
There we go.
Amazing.
everyone's knowledge.
So again, thanks for the reviews. That was an amazing one, and just keep sharing the show, everyone. And if you get a time for a review, that's awesome too.
Awesome. Amazing. It's
Greg sent me a screenshot of him giving us a 5-star on Spotify.
Oh,
So
there you
I just
go.
quick shout out to him
I think
for
that counts.
giving us that
Yeah,
5.
that counts.
So we're now up to 25 stars on Spotify.
Wow.
I saw him trekking through some water.
Oh
And
gosh, yes.
was he on a trail race? Not in Florida. It was colder water, and he had clothes on, so I guess it wasn't Florida.
so
Was
funny.
it? I don't know.
He's so intense.
He just did like a 35-mile. I forget. He did some ultra recently.
Yeah, because he's building up. He's doing.
Yeah, but that one was in Florida because I think that was the forgotten
Yeah.
Florida one.
It looked like he did something rockier, but maybe it was.
I thought it was
a
just
past.
him putting up a post from the past.
It may have been from the past, but anyway, he's building towards 100 early in the year here. The
Early?
first
I think
half
it's
of the year,
like-
June, I think, right?
July?
June or July. That's still early
That's
in the
not
year.
the first half.
Well, close enough.
I've been
boy.
messaging his girlfriend. I'm obsessed with her. I love her. Her and I have been having really intense conversations about Jane Austen movie adaptations.
I never know what Diana gets herself
I
into.
just
So what have you guys been up to?
actually training. Can you believe
Oh,
it?
nice.
I haven't
I know,
missed any
me
of my
too.
runs.
Must be nice.
We did a girls' run yesterday where we planned to run 5 miles to Starbucks and then 3 miles walk with Starbucks, 3 miles home. So we did 8 miles yesterday. It counts. It's fine.
You were on your feet.
Yep, that's what we said. So it was good. It was really, really cold yesterday.
Yeah, it was in the morning.
And
Yeah.
then today I didn't. I skipped OTF because I'm a baby and I didn't want to do Catch Me If You Can, which you guys did, which I'll let you talk about in a minute. But I did go to the gym, and I did a ton of speed work. So I realized that I hadn't really done any back-to-back runs, even though we're running back-to-back in Shamrock. So I was like, oh, I got to go get some miles.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I'll just do some speed work. So I did my little warm up, and then I was like, okay, I'm going to do a mile without intervals, and then I'm going to do just like some interval, like speed play. So I did a mile without intervals, and then I actually ended up doing 4 miles of like playing with my intervals. So I did 5 miles tonight. Can you believe it? It's a Monday. I don't do that. Like
Out of nowhere.
out of nowhere. I just like was in the zone.
You've been feeling it. I
I've
feel
been
like you've been
feeling it.
feeling it recently.
I'm feeling it. Well, I have lost a tiny bit of weight, so I'm feeling a little better. So
That's good.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna attribute it to that.
Yeah, I started running again too, outside.
Mm.
The weather's been all over the place. One morning it's 15 degrees. The next day it's 65 degrees. Then it's 20 degrees. Then it's 50-mile-an-hour winds.
It's-
I don't know.
it's
It's been
insane.
all over the place.
It's been insane.
But I went 3 straight days outside running over the weekend. for nice back-to-backs. Still just starting out building, so just I think it was like 9, 5, and 8.
Woo!
Actually got on the trails for 2 of the days, which was nice.
I saw that.
Yeah. I was happy to be out there again.
Yeah.
I was alone out there, unfortunately. It's lonely out there in the woods.
Merp, merp.
You're
Yeah.
lost in the woods.
The one day I actually wasn't even on the trail. I just turned off the dirt road and went into the woods. And
What?
just kept running. And Maria's like, "What are you doing?" I was like,
That's how you become a statistic, Michael.
No, well, I don't know. He's like gonna get arrested by being some like creeper in the random woods, not on a trail. Like,
oh, there is nobody around where I was. I was like 5 miles from a road.
someone's gonna call the cops. There's a weird man in a tank top. It's like 9 degrees outside. He's out there.
And I'm like always like, text me when you start, text me when you end, so that way I know like that you're alive. But then I realized when he texts me when he starts, like, what's that even mean? Because like he doesn't stay on freaking trails.
No.
I was about to drop the F-bomb. He doesn't stay on trails. So like I'd have no effing clue where the hell he is if he doesn't come home. Where is he? I have no idea. This is where he started like 2 hours ago, but he could be literally anywhere because he doesn't ever stay on a fucking trail.
Could be anywhere.
Man.
Sometimes I follow trails. Sometimes I follow roads. Sometimes I follow
He's like
other
Pocahontas. He goes where the wind takes him.
Oh my God.
Like the-
Listen, you know what? When
Colors
we're
of the wind.
together and we go off trail, I think it's like one thing because at least if we're gonna die, we're gonna die together, I guess. But like when he goes by himself, I'm like, I don't like it.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
like it.
Speaking of die together, we watched Titanic, and I looked at Tom when it was women and children only, and I said, I would leave you. I would get on a boat. I was like, it doesn't help anyone for us both to be dead.
This is true.
You jump, I jump.
It doesn't matter. I was like, it's unrealistic to think I wouldn't get on that boat without you.
Man.
I completely agree with that.
Man.
Yeah. I understand that.
rough.
I was like, it feels hard. It feels cold. But I have to carry on your legacy.
And
I have to.
after I drew you like one of my French girls.
It's just, I got to do it. Oh, God.
Ridiculous.
And then Aaron, poor Aaron. Why haven't you been running with Michael?
I don't know. I don't want to talk about it. I'm in a bad place. It's the bad place.
Still waiting to find out what's going on.
So I went to PT. We talked about it last time. I was doing exercises. I went like 3 times. I got needled. The last time I went and got needled, they like did the strength tests again, and like nothing has changed at all. Like, so the strength tests, like they like push your leg in, and you're supposed to push against it. My leg literally does nothing. They just push it in, and nothing else happens. Like I like no muscle, and they're like, no, that means like your muscles just aren't firing. Like it's not responding. It doesn't recognize that something should be happening.
That's weird.
So they're just like not functioning. So now I go back to the PT again on Wednesday, but he was saying that I should probably make an appointment with an actual ortho or a sports medicine guy just to make sure, because a lot of times like a hip fracture or like a hairline fracture can cause the muscles around it to like not understand what's happening and not respond. So now I'm like freaked the fudge out. Yeah. I'll try not to curse too much for Michael.
Thank you.
About like this idea. So then of course I'm texting with some friends, and this girl who is a PA in ortho surgery is like, don't run. You're going to, there's a possibility you'll shear your hip off. I'm like, what the?
Oh my God.
Shear your hip off.
This is like what's in my head now. So now I'm like, I can't freaking run. Like, what am I going to do? So she was like, well, you could row, or you could like bike, or you could like, so now I'm being yelled at by all these people who are like, did you run today? No. And it's fine. I mean, I'd rather be safe because it has really been like 2 or 3 months now. Mm-hmm. Like it's been a while that like my hip hasn't felt right, and that like I've been having the groin pain, and then I started reading about it, and like the deep groin pain that I keep describing is like the thing that is the most common like feeling of people who have hip fractures. So now I'm like super paranoid.
Oh, gotcha.
Yikes.
Well,
yeah, definitely just get it checked out.
Get it checked out and do what you're supposed to do.
And it might not be that, so I don't want to like jump to conclusions.
No, but just get it
But
checked
I
out.
like
yeah.
until I get it checked out, I'm gonna chill a little.
Sounds good.
It's on March 1st, so I will keep you all updated. But right now, I'm just kind of walking and biking. I did 40 minutes on a bike at the gym downstairs, and then 10 minutes of rowing every day, and then still did the PT exercises because they
good.
said that I could do that. So
Yeah. And the bike
I still
is good.
I still got like 2 hours of workouts in this weekend, so I'm frustrated, but like trying to keep my legs at least moving so
Yeah.
that if it turns out that it's not fractured, that I can sort of maybe still possibly walk Shamrock. I don't really know.
Yeah. So we'll play it by ear.
Well,
Yeah, you have to make some decisions in a couple weeks once you find
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
as of this recording, this weekend is Princess, right?
Yes,
And you guys,
which I'm not running.
You guys are going to cheer. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm not.
Just me.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were running any of the races.
No, just going to cheer.
Nice. What are we running for? I'll go first. I did 8 miles this past Saturday, and I wanted to die. Like, my legs felt like they were cement.
That's because it was cold.
Oh,
And it was cold.
yeah, that
it was
cold
cold
will
out.
kill you.
I don't know. Everything was kind of like, everything was thick. It was like I was walking through mud. But I got the miles. I got to do 9.5 this weekend, and then 10 the following weekend, and hopefully that'll get us into Shamrock and, see what happens. Shamrock is, I usually run better in a race anyways. Plus, I think it'll be fun, so I should be okay.
Yeah. The camaraderie.
Yeah.
And I feel like you got Jennifer Taylor, who's coming back from shoulder surgery. You got me, who might be trying not to shear their hip off.
Yeah.
So we'll be fine.
It'll be good.
We'll be fine. Speaking of, that's what I'm not running for.
Yeah.
I am not running to shear my hip off.
Yeah.
It's a good goal. It's a good goal.
The end.
Well, yeah, do what you can. And like I think I messaged this to you. Like I know you were saying like the bike is so boring, but I mean, Kate doesn't have a Peloton, but she just uses the Peloton app with her bike. And she says
A couple
she likes
people
it.
messaged me.
Yeah.
that.
I mean, at least you can have like the workouts and stuff.
But I need to do the subscription to do that, don't I?
Yeah.
I heard
yes, because
someone offered to give me their login.
you can have. I was going to say because I think you can add X number of accounts, but we already gave our extra account to somebody. So
Well, I
you
think
should
the other
have gotten
problem
us in earlier.
The bike in our gym is one of those sit-down ones.
Yeah, it's the recumbent
not a
bikes. It's
spin
not a
bike.
spin bike.
Oh, gotcha.
It'd be better if it was a spin bike, but this is just like literally you lay back and you're just like your legs are. It's like what are like being in one of those boats the pedal boats?
Oh,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah.
That's what it reminds
Or like
me
one
of.
of those sit-down bikes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of.
Really, you should probably be doing the spin bike at OTF also.
Oh, yeah, instead of walking on the treadmill. Yeah.
Well, I will, except that I didn't want to miscatch me if you
Yeah.
can.
Well, at least
So
you power walked. So
I'm a
there's
jerk,
that.
and I went against my friend's rules and walked today.
You're
but,
fine.
Yep,
Whatever.
you're
It's
going to be on
fine.
the naughty list. Well, I'm running I'm actually training, but I'm running for beer. Ever so often, I love to run for beer. And RAR, which is a brewery out of Cambridge, Maryland, which we've mentioned before, but they have a series called Out of Order. And they just released a whole line of out of order beer that is, and they're sours, that are Avengers themed. So the one I'm drinking right now is Hammer Time. So it's a Thor, but they have Iron Man and Spider Man and Captain America and Black Widow,
Yep.
Thanos. No, there's 7 of them, but they're
Nice.
all
There's
delicious.
Hulk's there.
Hulk is there. And they are delicious. And I love beer, and that's why I run so that I can drink more beer. Always.
Awesome.
Nice.
That's a good call.
We actually haven't been drinking a ton of beer.
No,
recently.
we've eased back a little bit, but I am running for Proof of Time
Ooh.
for the Disney Proof of Time. So after the end of last year, the Batona disaster, and then kind of a little bit of a rebirth at was that race? Space Coast.
Coast.
I was like, you know what? And then just, people mentioning to what in our end of year stuff and beginning of year stuff to not look back on what you did in the past and kind of start fresh. And so I want little victories this year. So like, I know I can go for that proof of time and I'll likely hit it, depending. Yeah, I'll still have to push hard, but I know that's a time that I can hit and work to hit. I think I got to get like 154, 153. So while that's like 10 or 11 minutes above my PR, for now, it's good.
Yeah.
And that's a nice goal I want to have. So.
Nice.
And you're going for that in Shamrock.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it at Shamrock.
Cool.
So he's going to do what he did last time, run stupid fast, and then wait over an hour for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Good.
So I'm going to do.
If I was actually running, I'd be running for the lobster grilled cheese that I had.
Holy
Oh,
crap,
my God.
it's so good.
The bistro
like
in
lump
Haddonfield.
lobster in there.
They
I'm gonna
have
have to post a
that
picture of
at a
it.
gastropub that's like right by our house. Incredible.
Yeah.
I am not running, so I did not run off those calories in any way, shape, or form, but I didn't care.
Still
It
worth
was
it.
delicious and amazing and had so much lobster on it. I couldn't believe that it really wasn't more expensive than it was.
Love that. God, we haven't been there in a while. We need to go back.
Yeah, we do.
All right, so before we jump into our main segment today, should we talk about some of the meetups we have coming up at Shamrock?
Sure.
Yeah.
We have them at the top of here, right? Yep. So Friday, Smart Mouth Pilot House at 5 p.m.
Yep.
Right, Tom?
Absolutely.
That is Friday, the 18th of
Friday,
March.
March 18th.
Friday, March 18th, Smart Mouth Pilot House.
Sounds good.
And then Saturday, we're going to say 3-ish.
Yeah.
We said this in the last episode too. Who knows what happens in the tent? Keep an eye out on our Instagram and, feel free to PM us, DM us, whatever.
Or just walk towards the inevitable screaming. So
Yeah. If you hear screaming, go run. Just go the other way.
It's Saturday the 19th, 3-ish p.m. at New Realm Brewing. And then what was the other one? We have our virtually live race that we announced last.
Yes, May.
We're going to keep reiterating it, I guess. May 21st, 2022. Still more details to follow. We still haven't.
Figure
The
early.
last time we
Yeah.
talked about it, didn't talk about it again.
Early
So-
March. Early March, we'll figure that out because we've been like doing house hunting and stuff, so it's been crazy.
I got to reach out about
Medals,
medallions.
and all that stuff. Yeah.
Medals.
Medallions.
What are
Sorry,
medals?
medallions.
Medallions. I got to see, what the possibilities are, kind of put that all together again. So
Sounds good.
May 21st, 2022.
Yes. So we'll be foregoing goal getters this time.
Why is that?
It'll return next epised.
Oh, no goal getters.
no
Just,
goal getters.
For time constraint reasons. So,
Well, we also have a very listener-centric episode today. I went out for Ask Us Anything questions.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
oh boy.
Man, did we get a lot of questions.
Oh, God.
And a lot of them are not running related. And a lot of them are just people trolling us.
I support that. I'm here for that. I'll allow it.
I don't. This is serious, y'all. We are professional broadcasters, and the least you could do is take this seriously.
So
And I'm not talking to anybody but Anna. Anna, I'm talking to you. I don't want this to be cryptic.
It's not cryptic.
Anna, I'm talking to you. A little bit Susanna and Maria. Y'all are trolls.
I love it.
So Anna's first questions, because I had said that I read through all the questions. I put all the questions in our show notes. Diana's definitely going into this blind. Michael's going into this blind, correct?
Like 95%.
Okay.
Other than the odd question. Other than what's in front of me on the screen
I
right
said
now.
to Anna at some point, like that. She asked me if anyone had seen the questions yet, and I said, "Well, the only person who probably would have read them is Tom." And so her first question was, "Did anyone cheat and look at the questions before recording?" Also, Tom, why Tom? Why?
I was trying to make notes for today's episode, and I had to copy and paste.
We also always have an issue. Like Tom's always like, I started show notes, and for some reason, what we do is we have a Google Drive, and you're supposed to just copy last week's or last episodes, and then just start the new doc. And he always, for some reason, saves it to his personal drive so no one else can see it.
No one
Yeah.
can see it.
And so everyone else starts a show notes, and he's like, "Wait, I already did that."
It's not a new problem.
It happens like every other
All the time.
episode.
And when I manage to not do it and actually share it properly, I don't know what I did differently. So whatever.
That's the best part. Yeah. Oh,
He'll be like
God.
looking at his laptop. He's like, "I'm looking at the document right now," and I'm like, "Tom, it's not in there." I'm like,
I don't know what to tell
I
you.
felt bad too because you were like, I started show notes, and I was like, I just did too, and I had just hit copy and paste and was starting to like go through all the questions. I'm like, I hope Tom didn't do the whole thing.
Yeah.
'Cause I just started.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's start. You guys ready?
"Yeah,
Yeah.
I've got some serious ones. I've got some not so serious ones. We have some people who asked multiple questions. I'm gonna kind
You
of
can kind of hop around. And
hop around
take control.
and
Okay.
yeah,
right.
and
All right.
mix it up a bit.
So you're going to ask the questions.
Yep.
Can we go in alphabetical order just so we stay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Diana, Erin, Michael, Tom.
yeah.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
to keep it consistent.
But like, what if I don't have an answer right away?
Then we can skip
can
you
skip
and go
you.
back to you.
All right.
And we'll throw.
Yeah, I was gonna say
alphabetical
that
order
sort
out the
of.
window.
Like, I feel like
Then we will change everything.
Oh gosh! All right, I am going to start with our favorite troll, Anna.
okay.
Uh-huh.
What is your favorite hobby that is not running?
Trolling people on the internet.
That's actually probably true.
That's very accurate.
It's actually true.
That was very simple for
I
Diana.
get like really giddy about it.
She really
like
does.
if I get like proud and I screenshot it.
She does. She like this is what she does all day.
And I know,
She's like,
I know-
look at
I
this
know we-
Facebook post.
I know we need to keep this short, so we'll be sitting on the couch watching something, and then I'll like notice in my peripheral like a lot of activity,
Thumbs.
and then
Oh
I
my
just look
God.
over and her thumbs are like spinning. Like I'm like, oh no, God, she's in the comments again on Facebook.
Oh God.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. Eating.
That's not a hobby.
So your
Oh, it's
hobby
not?
is a basic function that
That's
you need.
like what
to-
you have to do to live.
But like it's a foodie thing. It's not like
Oh, you
just
mean
eat-
like eating
it's
out
not like,
kind of
Yes,
thing.
it's
Yeah,
not like
trying
just
different
eating.
things.
It's
Yeah.
like
Okay.
going and
That's more of a
experiencing
hobby. Yeah, I
like
agree.
new
Okay.
places, like going to Philly, going
Yeah.
to New York City, trying out like new
Yeah.
places. Going when we were in Disney, trying to
Yeah.
like make sure we hit
Okay.
like the places like
Okay.
Vallejo or like the good.
Gotcha.
Like I like eating.
Gotcha.
Okay.
All right. For me, it's probably gaming.
Yeah.
Playing the same games over and over and over for
true.
decades, for tens of thousands of hours.
I'll just say Legos.
Legos.
Ooh.
It's a newish hobby for me. It's gonna be very expensive. It's probably the reason why we're never gonna get a house.
It's actually
You
fine.
could build it out of Legos.
We
It's
could
true.
build it out of Legos. It's fine because I never know what to get him ever, and now I can just buy him Legos.
There you go. Look at that. That's perfect.
It's a perfect solution for me.
Oh gosh. All right. Tab Runs Late wants to know, why do we love running so much when we complain about it all the time?
Oh God.
Is that like a general runner statement or just us in particular?
Well, for me, I like running because of the social aspect of it. So going to races, seeing my friends, doing training runs with friends. So I like that aspect of it. And the amount I eat and drink, like I literally have to run to just maintain any I don't know, illusion of health. Like
But then the actual act
it-
of running
No.
makes us complain about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't want to do it. But yesterday when I ran with the girls and got coffee and then walked back, delightful.
That's good running.
Yeah.
I actually would agree with that. The joy of the community stuff,
Yeah.
running with the friends that I meet in the morning sometimes, running, and even the camaraderie of we went to the Pineland Striders post holiday party last weekend.
Oh yeah, we did. We saw
which was
Robert.
super fun.
Yeah.
We saw Robert, the girl I run with, Megan, and some other friends. So just the community and the camaraderie that you have with it. But yes, the actual act of running most days is annoying.
You know me, I'm a big social butterfly, so the social aspect huge for me. I enjoy the quiet because we generally run in the woods, or we try to run in the woods as much as possible. Just that peace out there, that quiet. I love the exploration. Just seeing everything with your feet, at ground level.
Yeah,
Even if
seeing
it's
the world.
Yeah, even if it's a new city or
Yeah,
new area.
I agree.
That's a
yeah,
good
it
one.
doesn't.
Yeah, the traveling, and seeing the world on your feet.
Yeah, why
I
do
would
we
absolutely agree
complain
with that.
about it? Because I don't know, kind of sucks sometimes.
Yeah, and my whole body hurts right now. That's not good.
For the most part, it's good, but sometimes it just sucks.
I'll say for me, and this might get a little deep, but I've never considered myself any kind of athlete, and I've known a lot of athletes. And being able to run and be accepted into the community of running, it almost feels like I'm getting away with something. And I had this conversation today. I told someone about the podcast, and they're like, "You run?" And that's just a natural reaction that people just have, which is fine. I'm like, yeah, because of that statement right there. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I can walk past the elites, and they're not going to judge me. I can go line up wherever I want to line up. I'm only competing against myself. It's something I never thought I would do, let alone enjoy to do.
Yeah.
And it's really the people. It's 115% the people that we've met through this sport. So that's why, and it does suck. God, does it suck sometimes.
Just the training. It's just annoying.
I have never been so aware of the sensitivity of my nipples before.
It's going to be a long year.
I know.
Oh, gosh. All right. Dopey Disney runner, Susanna wants to know that if you had to run naked, what is the one thing you wouldn't leave behind?
Squirrel's nut butter or body glide.
Yeah, clearly, or sunblock.
Ooh,
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Depending if you're what time of day
Sunblock's
or
a really
year.
good
Yeah.
Can I not leave my clothes behind?
Well, technically, I guess. Yeah.
Carry my clothes so that when I get to the location that I'm done,
You can put them on.
then I can put them back on.
You can do that.
Seems like a cop-out.
But I'd still run naked.
Just hold them.
Can you say shoes and socks?
Oh,
Yeah, I think you got to
Oh.
go shoes and socks. Yeah, I agree.
Can you wear? are you
Do I have
supposed-
to be barefoot?
That seems too dangerous.
Yeah. She didn't put any qualifications on that question.
Yeah.
So, all right. This one is a much more serious question from Run, Eat, Drink podcast. They want to know if we can each tell an inspirational story about when you felt like quitting and you didn't, whether it be from heat exhaustion, hitting the wall, running through pain, but you pushed through.
Can I tell a story of when I quit when Vanessa tried to get me not to quit?
No, but you can tell the story about
No,
how
I'm
it
just
made
kidding.
the other guy.
Yeah,
in the
that's funny.
tent.
Yeah, how she got somebody else not to quit,
She got
but I
someone
still
else
quit
not
anyway.
to quit, but you quit anyway. Yes, I think we've told that story.
Yeah,
on
that's
this
oh,
funny.
podcast.
okay. I think I do remember that story.
Yeah.
'Cause you were at an aid station, right?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
in my tent. Yeah.
Yeah, and Vanessa came over and was like, "You don't want to quit. You just push through, and you just keep moving forward, and blah 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 blah." And like Michael's like, "Yeah, no, I'm done." And the guy in the tent next to him was like, got out of the tent, and we saw him the next morning. He's like, "I heard that woman give you that speech, and it made me get up, and I went around for a few more laps, and he was still going when we saw him."
Good for him.
That's amazing.
So that's not our inspirational
No, it's not
story.
mine either. Yeah, some strangers.
Diana, do you think that you have a
No,
story?
I mean, I want to quit a lot. I would say maybe when I was doing the marathon and I found you and friends and I was able to keep going. So I think that just takes us
That's a
back to
good
that
one.
last question, where it's like, what keeps you going? And it's the camaraderie and the friendship and, having someone to help push you through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that it's inspirational, but I thought I was going to die in the Grand Canyon from heat exhaustion.
Yeah, that's true. That was a
that
good
is
one.
literally one of the things she says for some reason. It's not really a race, but it's
And
Yeah.
an adventure
We
thing
did-
that
we
we were trying to
lived.
do. And how did I push through? I mean, literally, the pushing through part is just I
was-
want to live.
Yeah, I don't want to die in the Grand
don't wanna
Canyon.
die.
I want to live.
Good motivation.
It is really odd. The good motivation.
Yeah.
I mean, the more inspirational one would be like the Batona 55 when I was in the middle of the sand and I was like, I can't keep moving forward and I don't want to do this anymore. And I was screaming at the sand to F off because
Yeah.
I hated it.
That's a mantra. Sometimes you need a mantra. Sometimes that mantra is F off. I use the Mindy Kaling quote, I am a warrior and my warrior name is Beyonce Pad Thai. I will say that and it will make me run faster.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that would be the more inspiring part is when you just kind of just in your head just start cursing at things and like say you can do this. Sorry.
Yeah. You have to. It's worth the
I'm
bleep.
getting an eye roll. I just got an eye roll and a half. He
It's
hates
worth
it
the
so
bleep.
much. Yeah.
What about you, Tom?
I've never quit.
Never quit.
Here's the thing.
Have you ever thought about quitting?
Yeah, in my very first half,
Yeah.
I say I've never quit. I also don't really do very hard things. Like
I feel like you do hard things.
most of my half marathons I've been properly trained for. I just never wanted to get swept in Disney. But like, I'm sure if you ask me this question in November, I will be a completely different person because we'll be knee deep into dopey training. I will
that's
hate
true.
myself. We'll be doing back-to-back double-digit runs. I'm terrified already. Like, let me save my quitting for the second half of this year.
Did you ever feel that way like when you were like learning to swim or not
Oh, yeah.
learning, but like doing the swim thing and like all that?
Oh, when I did the swim event, the guy lapped the winner lapped me. It was embarrassing. Like, but whatever, like I'm out there for
But
myself.
you never felt like you were going to quit. Like that wasn't like
No.
no
a feeling you
no.
had?
I was just like, I'm going to continue to do this. It's going to take literally forever, but I won't stop moving forward.
Yeah.
I just wish I was faster, But trust me, little Tommy will be quitting a little bit later in this year.
I don't know. I think I'm quitting a lot.
No, my actual one was when I did the Fuski Island and Jekyll Island marathons back to back, my first back to back marathon days.
God.
And I set a goal of, it wasn't like crazy, but I wanted to go sub 5 both days. So the first day was fine. It was a little warm actually. The first day was like 75 degrees. So I went like sub 5, but I made sure I didn't like push too hard. The next day, a giant nor'easter blows through and the wind is blowing straight in my face for 10 miles. And I was ready to quit. And I had texted Aaron and I'm like, I don't think I'm, because I wasn't going to make the 5 hour. It felt like I wasn't going to make the 5 hour goal. I mean, I would still walk to the end, but it would have really been super disappointing. So I was like, I don't know. I think I'm done. And then from that moment on, like in my head, I always visualize like there's this YouTube video of a race, the North Face 50 between Hayden Hawks and Zach Miller. and they basically run full out for 50 miles.
Oh my God.
Like full out.
Oh my
and
God.
It is the most intense, insane finish you will ever see. And like that always clicks into my head. And while I can't run like either of them, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna empty the tank. That's it.
Do
and
what
I
you
ran,
can until you collapse, basically.
No, like, what's the worst that happens? I have to walk a little bit. I was like, I'm walking now anyway. And I ran like the 5 fastest miles of the weekend, the final 5 miles.
Wow.
All right, let me just retract what I previously said. I have never not finished a race.
Yeah, that wasn't the question.
But I quit on my intervals almost immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Like when I went out for this 8-mile run this past Saturday, I'm like, okay, well, I really only have to do like 6, and then I'll walk the last 2. Well, if I switch from like 130s to 30 and 1s, I don't know. I always make deals with myself. That's why I kind of like running by myself, because nobody's there to see me fail constantly.
It's so funny because it's funny he said that about the intervals, because we just did this little Valentine's Day 5K with like Nikki, Nicole, and Ryan, and we were all gonna run together and do whatever intervals. And we said at the beginning of this year we were gonna start getting ready for Dopey, so we were gonna switch our intervals and we were gonna do 2 and 1s. And we got like a half mile into the race, and Tom just goes, "What intervals are we doing?"
Oh my God.
And we're like, the interval we agreed to at the beginning of the year.
I did not listen.
Oh my God. Amazing.
We were like, "Do you need us to switch?" And he was like, "No."
Oh boy. All right, let's move on to Jessica Gran. A real simple question. TP, over or under? When you put it on the roll.
Over.
Yeah, over.
Over is the right answer to that question.
Yeah, we're not psychopaths.
psychos.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're not
that's good.
psychopaths.
I'm glad. I'm glad we're all in agreement.
Also,
on
I had
that.
to do like a little hand motion
To make sure you knew
make
which
sure
way
I
it
was
was.
right, which way it went.
I mean, to be fair, I don't even put it on the roll. I'll just
Put
That's true.
on
That is
top of
true.
it.
He puts it on top, and it annoys the ever living
Yep.
Yeah.
poop out of me.
Well, when that happens, you know which way to put the toilet paper on.
Oh my God. Let's go back to Anna since she asks so many questions.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
What is the best thing that's happened to you in the last 7 days?
I had tequila on Friday night. And a really nice waitress.
She was very sweet.
Gosh, what is the best
She brought
thing?
a lot of joy into our day.
Aw, that's sweet. Michael, what's the best thing that's happened to you in the last 7 days?
I don't know. Not much good's happened the last 7 days.
Wow.
So I'm going to go with I woke up every day.
Wow, life's that bad?
Yeah, it hasn't been a great week.
That was super depressing, guys.
That was depressing.
Tom, do you have anything good?
Tom's nothing but joy in the world.
I know. That's why I'm hoping Tom's going to bring us back.
Oh, God.
Oh, I have something better. So I have a friend who was going through their front surgery. So they are transitioning, and they had a Yeet the Teat party on Sunday where they were
Cool.
celebrating getting rid of their boobs, and it was delightful, and they had boob-themed everything, and that made me extremely happy. So we even did a game where instead of pin the tail on the donkey, we were pinning the nipples onto them.
Oh my gosh. Ah, that's so funny.
So that was fun.
I guess I have a similar one. I was walking Archie the other day, and there's this big, long black truck that's like double parked. And I'm like walking in front of the truck, and the driver kind of waves me down, and he's like, "Hey." And then there was a passenger. The passenger was like, "Hey, do you know me?" And I'm like, "No. Who are you?" He's like, they were like, "I brought you like your mail 2 years ago." I'm like, "All right." And they're like, "Well, I just wanted to say thank you." He was like, "Are you and your wife the apartment that decorates for Christmas and all this and has like different flags out in front of your place?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's us." So this was a person that was transitioning. This person was trans, and Diana has put up a Trans Rights Matter.
Yeah, trans rights are human rights.
Trans Rights are Human Rights flag before. And they just said, we just want to say thank you because something like that really shows us that some of our neighbors really support us and see us, and it was something so small, but it really, really made us feel good.
That's going to make me cry.
And I didn't.
Yeah. We've never met them.
I honestly do not. I did not remember this person at all. But like they described exactly where we live, exactly our apartment, and like they lived in the building like right over from us.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Please tell your wife thank you very much because it really matters. Something like that really matters."
And I didn't know. I just didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I mean, you never know the little things that you're doing that, like, matter to somebody else.
That's nice. When Tom started telling me that story, he told it the same way, and I was like, where is this going?
Yeah. It's not. Yeah.
Mine is way less sentimental now. Like now I feel kind of like a dope and I should have gone first because we're doing this silly like online challenge on Instagram for the it used to be Insta Run Club, whatever. They're not allowed to. It's the IRC runners now, Inspirational Runners Club or something like that, because Insta is no longer allowed to be in their name. Anyway, so Maria, it's the BRF challenge, and Maria and I are doing it together, and we took the opportunity to not just do like the challenge, but one up the challenge a little and do these dumb
I love them.
like photoshopped pictures of like the two of us together.
It's so great.
So that's just like, Michael said that it's been a tough week. He's right. It's like those little things that help bring you joy though and give you a little bit of a distraction and make you laugh. So I've been laughing my way through the ridiculousnh of what Maria and I have been doing.
Yeah, they've been fabulous.
Yeah, and that's been bringing me joy. All right. Let's go to Run Diz Nerd wants to know what your worst post-race meal has been.
Unpeeled oranges at like the finish.
Oh, that is the worst. What race does that?
Oh, that's a pain, yeah.
Like just a whole orange.
Yeah.
Like, who wants to peel an orange after a race?
I got an answer.
I don't want to do work.
Yeah,
that is a pain. I agree. It's not like a banana. Like a banana is simple to peel.
Yeah.
Like an orange.
You gotta stand over the trash can like a rat. Like
every so often, you'll get a banana though, where you when you try and pull the top off,
because you don't.
Or,
that's
the bottom.
Not how you open a banana.
You're supposed to pull from the bottom. I know. We've gone through this.
Yeah, I guess for me, now thinking about it, the worst post-race meal, and this will not offend anyone, is that garbage box you get after the Disney Marathon.
Oh my
Disney races
I can't with
the with the orange sludge and other stuff in there. The chips are fine. But yeah,
I hate
that
him
would
so
be
much.
my worst.
He didn't even get me the box.
I didn't. I don't take the box.
At the
I don't want the
marathon
box.
weekend.
It's a waste.
I wanted the box.
Sorry.
Oh, gosh. All right.
Ooh, I have one. So my worst post-race meal is a salad.
Ooh, yeah.
I never want a salad after a run.
Yeah. I don't even know that I have a worst post-race meal, but when I finish a race, I'm always like, I want a burger.
Yep, burger.
Or I want something super satisfying, whether it's a cheesesteak or something big and savory and and then if you're on your way home and you can't find what you want,
it's miserable.
Then no matter what you eat, it's the worst. It's not a specific thing so much as it's not what I wanted.
It's not right. Yeah, I always really crave protein after it. So I know when I was doing a lot of really long miles, if we would go out to breakfast, I would get steak and eggs.
Yeah.
And I never get that. But when I'm running a lot of miles, that's always what I want is that protein.
Yeah, and then whatever like you get that's not what you like. You get to a place and like you look at the menu and there's
they
like
don't have
literally nothing on the menu that you're like, this is what I want. Then like it's not necessarily the worst post race meal, but it's not what you wanted, so it's no longer going to be good no matter what.
Yeah.
All right. The next question is from Susie Runs 50. Have you ever had a what she likes to call naked and afraid moment, where there are no restrooms, there is no porta potty in sight, and you have to submit to yourself to peeing in the bushes or behind a tree or wherever you can find?
All right.
Tell us where and when.
Okay, I don't have a running story where I had to squat. I usually at least make it to a porta potty. I did get stuck in severe traffic on the way down to downtown Baltimore to see Justin Timberlake and literally peed on 95. Like I had to like open both car doors and then pee on the street.
There you go.
Oh my gosh.
Apologies, my husband.
Animal.
I mean, we run in the woods, so
You guys do it all the time.
We
It's
just
all the time.
do it. I did it last weekend when we were running on the road, and then I snuck into a trail because I was like, I have to pee.
Oh yeah.
So we ended up going like off of the road into where we knew there were trails,
Yeah.
so that I could pee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I on the run to the shore that time when you guys were here, we were running down the road. I stopped off in the woods next to a house and went to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Next to the house.
So
Well, it was a
we
zoo. I had to
just
go.
had this conversation recently, like with some people about how
But I
it's
mean-
really not fair, though.
Oh my God.
For
it's
women
not.
versus
Yeah,
men.
yeah,
Like
it's
a
not.
man,
Yeah.
if you get stuck in this situation where you got to pee, you just kind of like go off to the side and like, no one cares. But like for me, even when I went into the woods, like not only did I have to like go off the trail or onto this trail, I then had to like find a spot where it was kind of hidden enough in case somebody else walked down the trail so that I was like behind enough and that it's like a nightmare. It's a nightmare.
It's an ordeal. There have been times where I've literally had to run back into the house though and left the door wide open and thrown all my stuff on the ground and screamed at Tom to go shut the door. So
Yeah, I mean, we carry stuff with us. I mean, I've had to go into streams to clean up or use snow or whatever.
Oh, gosh.
oh my God.
Okay, well, I've never had that moment. I did once have to pee under the boardwalk.
Under
yeah.
the boardwalk.
I
She
think
is
that's
peeing.
Yeah, I think that's the most public I've ever gotten.
Tom probably has no story.
Tom,
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
Tom's
no-
so shy.
No, I because I plan properly, and y'all are gross, uncultured swine.
When you're out in the woods, you just go wherever. It don't matter.
Yeah, I was nervous on Sunday because I had coffee because I actually woke up like 2 hours before I had to run. So I was like, oh, I can have coffee. And then I like instantly regretted it. And I was like
Oh,
super
man.
nervous.
all right, Dap Daniel Powell, who Michael once blocked on
multiple
Instagram,
times.
says in a creepy Tom voice, "What turned you on?"
Asians.
All right.
Oh my god! Hashtag race report. Men who like Asians.
Oh my God.
Good answers. Good answers.
People who make me laugh, which obviously just happened. So yeah, there you go.
Oh, God.
People who have no joy.
Man. Oh, Diana, you. Sorry.
Oh, now me? Oh, God. I'd say sense of humor. Marvel actors.
Oh God.
Marvel actors. Oh.
Tom.
My wife.
Oh gosh. Gator Sally wants to know, have you ever run Goofy instead of Dopey and not had FOMO? And really, that's only directed at me because I'm the only one here who's ever run Goofy.
Yeah, never run it. And also, I've never had FOMO just running the marathon. So, yeah.
And I honestly have never had FOMO running goofy, like, and not running the other races. I've had FOMO over like I always plan to be at the races later because I'm not running until Saturday, so I don't take as much time off from work. So I have my FOMO has more to do with like everyone's in Disney by like Tuesday, Wednesday, and like doing all the fun stuff, and I still have like 3 more days of work before I fly down.
Yeah, gotcha.
So I don't have FOMO over the actual races, but I have FOMO over everyone being there without me. Runcation Dreaming wants to know if there's advice for a first trail race and when transitioning from road.
I would say, depending on the type of trail, like our trails are pretty easy here, so it was an easy transition. I think we had a much easier transition because our trails aren't super technical. If you're going to a more technical trail, just take your time, learn, and be prepared to fall.
Also,
be prepared to fall.
even though you're saying, like, if you're going more technical, no matter what, the trails are going to slow you down.
Yes.
So, like, even if you're like, if you're normally like an 8-minute miler, you're still probably going to slow down by 30 seconds to a minute
or more.
If you're like an 11-minute miler, suddenly you might be going like 12:30s. Like, it's not you, it's just you transitioning into it. Take your time. Don't try and like go those speeds because that's how you fall.
Yeah. And like if it's rooty trails or rocky trails or technical trails or hilly, just be forgiving of yourself, like, and just take your time. Just enjoy being out there at first. I think that's the main thing.
Also, check out the terrain of the first trail because she said first trail race.
Yeah, do similar.
Make sure you do some research into the actual trail race you're doing to see what kind of terrain it is, whether you might need shoes that have a little bit more tread, or if you can get away with wearing your road shoes. Tom, you actually more recently went from road to a trail, doing a couple of those little trail races. Do you feel like you have anything?
I don't know. Like, you can build it up in your head where it's big and scary and like you're going to fall, you're going to like trip or whatever. That's going to happen. There's just more stuff in your way. But I feel like your confidence level is pretty quick. Like the learning curve on how to get out on those trails and navigate them is pretty quick. Like when we did Rockin' the Knob, I was terrified of it. And then like we kind of got the gist of it pretty quickly, right?
Yeah.
So you can sort of speed up as you go because you're not being as careful throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And yeah, it's a completely different experience. Like, enjoy the environment, enjoy, the quiet, enjoy the fresh air, all of that,
She did ask whether we have any good plans. Honestly, when I did my first 50K going to trails, I didn't do anything different than I did for regular marathon training. Like, I used a marathon training plan.
Yeah.
And then just added like a couple miles to my like long runs. So I don't know that I would give advice to say that a plan should be any different for a trail race versus a road race.
Yeah, you just want to
unless you're going like ultra distances and going like 50 miles or above. Yeah. And if you are, then get in touch with us and we can I don't know, have a conversation about that.
Well, maybe some more hill workouts.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah, depending on the type of. Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys build in a lot of elevation into your training.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, I would just say just try and get on the terrain you're going to be on, at least for one of your runs a week, And
if you don't have, because that's a good thing too, like we don't actually have that many hills and or the terrain. There's also like videos that you can find. David Roach, Coach Roach, has a quick little video on YouTube on doing step ups, and it's called mountain legs. If you don't have the ability to do those kind of hills, there's like 3 or 4 different exercises you can do that are like runner's lunges and step ups and different things to help simulate and get your quads and your hamstrings strong to be able to do that without actually doing the
runs on that.
The runs on the hills. Baltimore Han wants to know, do you guys have any pre-race rituals or superstitions?
I always have to have for a race, not a training run, I always have to have my whole outfit laid out kind of the night before so I don't forget anything. That's one of the things I always do. And I usually do toast with peanut butter.
I used to have a lot more pre-race rituals than I do now. Like I used to always have like a bagel with peanut butter and a banana. Like that was always my breakfast. And then I don't know, somewhere along the way that changed.
I just kind of whatever.
I just think it more, well, I mean, obviously you've always been that way. I think the longer I've been running, the more experience I've gotten. And with like what works and doesn't work and whether or not I actually need the things that I like in my head, I always thought that I did. And then I went without it once. It's just like when I stopped running with music, like there was a race that like it poured and I couldn't use headphones because it was just like torrentially downpouring. And I ran without music and it made me realize that I didn't necessarily need music. So I started running less with music. It's kind of like those things. Like I didn't eat the exact same meal because I didn't have it available to me. And suddenly I realized, oh, maybe that's not like something that has to happen.
Yeah.
So it kind of like lost its superstitionness.
Consistently, I've always like, and again, this is a race. Usually it's a half marathon, but I always make a playlist for that race. And even if it's very similar or the same songs, it's kind of like me putting together my team that's going to help me survive the race.
There you go.
And so,
That's
like,
a good one.
when I'm struggling and I hate it and it sucks and running's terrible, like, I'm like listening to the same songs and I'm like, this is the same soundtrack you did when you completed that other race. So you can keep going because you can rely on these things.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of what I do.
That's a good one. I have a rule that I don't eat seafood the day before a race.
It's a smart rule,
And
generally.
If I can, I eat chicken parm the night before a race, whenever possible.
Yeah, I feel like I knew that one about you.
Yep.
Um,
Tom had the best one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an actual ritual.
That's an actual ritual.
Yes. Let's see. I know we can go back up to Tab Runs Late said running related guilty pleasure.
Probably the music I listen to when I run is probably filled with a lot of guilty pleasure. Like I listen to a lot of random Spotify playlists a lot of times when I run. So Broadway or like Lin-Manuel stuff where I'm just kind of singing or 90s pop. So that's probably my biggest guilty pleasure.
I don't know that I have one like for like a regular run, but like if I'm doing a race, especially like on a trail, then I'm going to eat as much bacon as my body will humanly allow me to consume.
Nice.
And or grilled cheese. Like those are my two things that if I'm doing a trail race and they're available to me, I probably eat way more than I should, way more calories than I need. And sometimes it gives me a stomach ache and blows up my race, but I don't care because it's bacon and grilled cheese and it's delicious.
Gotcha.
And I'm allowed to have it when I'm doing a trail race.
Amen.
Yeah, I guess the post-race beer, probably.
During race beer?
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
It is a slippery slope, though, I'll tell you, because I've used running in air quotes to justify a lot of terrible food decisions.
That is true.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
I hear you, though.
It's like whenever I would go on a long run when I was marathon training, I'd be like, I can stop and get a milkshake.
Yep.
Every long run. It was so bad. Like a chocolate milkshake. It was so great after a long run.
All right. Here's a couple really fast trolley ones. When is Michael doing a Lost in the Woods music video? Maria wants to know.
I always do them. I'll send them to
like
her
a
privately.
Lost in the Woods. You got to sing. You got to belt out. Have you
Christoph?
never seen Frozen 2?
Oh, yeah, once.
The Lost in the Woods ballad?
I didn't know.
Oh,
No,
my
I
God.
didn't know the song.
Wow.
I only saw it once.
That doesn't mean you shouldn't remember. It was like the power ballad that was part
Michael,
of it.
you're fine. You're fine.
Oh my gosh.
Live your life.
It was a good movie.
Next
That
thing
was
he's
all
going
fun.
to tell us is he's going to tell us that he's going to talk about Bruno. But he doesn't even
I
know
don't
what
even
that
know what that
reference
is.
is.
I don't even know
So
what
it
it's
doesn't.
about.
I mean, he's on TikTok. He should know what that reference is.
No, because I haven't seen Encanto. I just know it's a song people listen to.
Oh
or
my
something.
gosh. Maria and Susanna both wanted to know, why are each one of you the way that you are?
Us?
Ooh,
Yes.
Me. I've got low self-esteem. That's mine.
I mean, I guess that's what I'm just a troll. We're just trolls. I don't know where that came from. I guess
I
that's
know
where.
exactly where mine came from.
Oh, well, maybe that's where mine came from too. I just turned into an a-hole and never turned back. I don't know what to tell you. Tom, why are you the way that you are?
I'm a youngest child. I was a fat kid growing up where I had to be really funny in order to get in with like attractive people. I don't know what to tell you. Childhood trauma.
Trauma.
Look what you guys did, guys. You're bringing up all of our trauma. Michael, why are you the way that you are?
It's probably because Zeus and his wife got together and had a baby, and then I came out. And...
What? He's trying to
Hercules?
I really wanted you to say because J.J. Abrams doesn't have an original thought
idea.
All right, we got two other questions that are from With All My Soul. Christy and Maria also asked us, are you guys all hydrated? Because they're asking for the water bullies that are out there.
I'm going to be real. Today, no, because what I did is I drank a pot of coffee and then had a Coke Zero and then went and ran and then drank half my water bottle and came home and had a beer and iced tea. So, no.
I feel like
A
that's
lot
all
of
liquid.
It's not
Yeah, that
hydrating.
counts.
I don't think
No.
coffee hydrates you.
It does.
Coke doesn't
No,
hydrate
it's
you.
listen, I am all for the fact that coffee is made with water.
Yes.
However, the actual coffee itself is considered a diuretic, and it is not hydrating. It is dehydrating you. So I'm with Diana. I drank like 3 cups of coffee today and maybe a bottle. I got this cup of water that I was going to drink while we recorded, and I was going to make it a goal to drink the whole thing while we were recording. And if you can see, it's all the
Yeah.
way still up to the top
Yeah.
here.
This thing, too. I drank that much during my run.
So it's not working, guys. So no, we're not hydrated. Michael, I don't think he hydrates well normally. So
Probably not, but caffeine does not dehydrate you. Like, please, can we stop this mythology? It does not.
Science.
Then why do I
have to pee all the time.
have to poo
It's
immediately
a-
after I drink coffee?
It is a diuretic, but it does
Well, then-
not. It does not displace more water than you take in.
Tom's usually pretty good about hydrating. Are
I
you
wish I
hydrating?
was better, honestly.
Tom usually gets these big like cups of water that we get at like games and stuff, and he fills those up. But I don't
that's
know
good.
how you're doing today.
That's good.
I'm not doing great
Oh.
today.
Not good today.
There's been a lot of soda.
All right.
It's water. Water and soda.
Since we brought up With All My Soul, can each of you give one fact about yourself that you may not already know about each other? I'm Asian.
I think we established that earlier.
What?
This may not surprise anyone. I did drama in high school.
I feel like that's not shocking at all.
I'll take that's the least shocking thing for 500, Alex. I'm not allergic to poison ivy or poison oak, and as a young child or as a mean 10-year-old, I would hand it to people.
Oh my god.
That is like
That's 100% true. That is 100% true.
and that's also like very surprising. Like that's in Diana's like wheelhouse. I feel like that's on brand for Diana, not little Tommy Tom.
Oh my
I was
God.
lashing out, and I'm just saying, I would like rub it on my arm and be like, "No, this isn't poison ivy," and then hand it to people.
Oh my God, Tom!
I don't know if I'm
Wow.
still not allergic because apparently you can be allergic later in life. But
wow.
when I was 10 years old, I was not allergic.
Oh my gosh.
I lip synced to Mr. Telephone Man for a talent show in grade
Yes,
school.
you did. That's amazing.
I was a runway model
Wow.
Yeah.
when I was like 5, 6, and 7. I have pictures of me doing runway modeling.
Wow.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. These are all great facts. Michael's
pretty good.
I don't know. I don't know who was better, Michael or Tom. Because Mr. Telephone Man is the most ridiculous song I've ever heard.
Well, that's true.
It was so popular, though.
Here's the thing, like, okay, like we've all done like weird, like drama, fashion show, lip syncing. Tom was the mean boy. Like,
True.
Poison Ivy. Okay. All right. Brooke, our new friend who gave us that excellent review, mentioned that one of us was running high on, our heart rates were running high. Mine's been running hot for some runs, even when I feel good, and she just wanted to know if we figured out why our heart rates were in high.
It was you.
She said, disclaimer, I know mine might not be the same, and I'm not looking for medical advice. Well,
That's
that is
good.
an excellent thing that you're not looking for medical advice, because you will never get that here and have it be correct.
No.
Do not come to us for facts. However, just real quick, no, I've never figured out why my heart rate has been higher. I went to the doctor. I don't know. My body's all out of whack. That's all I can say, is I'm just trying to figure out. It could honestly be like, since I hurt my hip and I've been having this hip pain, I know that like when you have pains and stuff in your body, your heart rate will race in order to like rush blood to the areas that are inflamed. So like that could be why. I have no idea.
That could be it. Mine was high for a couple weeks after I had the vid, and then now it's back to normal.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, I had a few random episodes where it was high. But I don't know. I think it was diet
But
issues.
your heart rate also is an indication that you're not feeling well, or that you're having a bad day, or that you didn't sleep
But it
well.
wasn't consistent. It was like one-off events.
Yeah, so yours was more one-off. Mine's consistently been higher. But again, now that I know, like I realize how bad my hip has been, it could actually really just all be related to that. And I just have been in denial for 3 months.
Could be.
All right. Mission Fit Mama wants to know, how do you fundraise for a charity bib? Has anyone here ever fundraised for charity? I mean,
no,
I have.
but Maria posted something and I thought I was donating to her, and I donated to some random person that she's friends with. So just post on Instagram, I guess, and I'll give you money.
Yeah.
That's funny. I have raised for a charity bib in the past. I did several things. I did, and I'm planning to fundraise for Dopey. So, yes, obviously post on all your social media. Just continuously just beg people for money. But also, I did like a couple restaurant nights where like you go to the restaurant and you talk to the restaurant. Your friends and family will eat there, and then part of the proceeds.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, part of the proceeds will go to that. We did a bowling night where the bowling alley gave us like 2 hours of bowling for like $5, and then we charged like $10, and we made 50% profit from that. We did some like charity baskets. I'm actually going to do a virtual charity baskets, so it's going to be like I'm going to get some like Raw Threads gift cards and like that kind of thing.
I think those are great ideas.
Yeah, so I've done a few things. I did like a box grid thing where I put like gift cards for like Target and Wawa and Dunkin' Donuts and whatever on a grid, and then you pick the number.
All good ideas.
Yeah.
But yeah, just stuff like that.
Yeah. If you want some more ideas, feel free to message us on Instagram, and I can share some other things I've done.
No, it was funny when you were talking about that. You mentioned another thing that I remember was a fun fact about me.
Oh, what's that?
I once almost shot back 300s bowling.
Oh.
Oh.
That's a fun fact.
I threw the first 23 strikes of the night.
I don't know if anybody realizes that Michael was once an almost professional bowler.
No, I was not, but I was decent.
All right, Lebowski.
I was on a bowling league, and I have a pink bowling ball and a pink bowling bag and pink bowling shoes, and had probably the worst average in the league.
I used to work at a bowling alley as a kid. So, yeah, I shot, let's see, I went 300, 299, 240 something that night.
Oh, my
But, yeah.
God.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
More fun facts.
I've
Fun
retired from bowling,
you
however.
guys are learning a lot about us
Yeah.
tonight. Lisa Knits and Trains,
Mm.
who we met at
Met
Marathon
Disney, yeah.
Weekend. Best fall marathon you've ever done?
Ooh.
This one's easy for me, actually.
Go ahead.
I didn't think it would be. Rockin' the Knob.
Oh.
I love it. And it's a marathon. Wow. For me, it's my favorite fall marathon.
Even though you DNF'd it?
I finished it the year before.
I know. I'm just wondering whether or not that still makes it.
Yeah, it's still a great race.
Okay. Okay, so because Diana and Tom have never done a fall marathon, do you have a best fall half marathon?
I was going to give you a fall half marathon. And I don't know, because the only thing that's popping in my head now for the fall is Baltimore, and you guys know how I feel about the Baltimore half. Oh, you know what my favorite fall race is? I guess it's technically fall because it's Labor Day, is Charles Street 12 is my favorite.
Yeah, that makes sense.
fall race.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does Wine and Dine count?
Ooh,
Yes.
yes.
That's fall. Yeah.
That's
That's it.
fall.
That's got to be
Yeah.
it.
Okay. My favorite fall marathon was New York City.
Ah, it's a good one.
Nice.
She also wants to know, Tom, why doesn't everyone look for tripping hazards and then tell everyone about them?
Because people don't care about their safety. And the reason Batman exists is because the rest of the townsfolk won't take care of themselves. So he has to be ever vigilant.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, boy. All right. Tab runs late. Wants to know, what race do you absolutely have no desire to do and why?
I don't think I could do one of like the cold races, like one of the Alaska ones or like Antarctica. I have like no desire. I also honestly, I don't think I have any desire to go anything over a marathon. And I mean, I may change that at some point in time, but right now, anything over 26.2, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah, makes sense.
There's not, I'm trying to think of a race that I wouldn't want to do. There's not many because, like, I think about, I don't want to do Boston, which people think it might think is weird. Like, I don't never want to be fast enough to do Boston, and I don't ever want to have to raise like more than $500 to $7,500 or whatever ridiculous number it is for charity.
Yeah.
So unless somebody's giving me a bib for free for absolutely no reason,
You're not going to work at it.
I'm not going to work at it. So I guess that's a race that like I really just have no desire to do anything that would get me towards being able to do that race.
That's a good example.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it would be New York, Boston, Chicago, any of the big cities.
All the major races.
Yeah, I have
the
less than
majors?
zero interest to do any race that size with that much aggravation getting to it. Like, I wouldn't even do Marine Corps again. I have zero interest in anything that
That
size.
one doesn't even have that much aggravation to get to it. Though.
No, but it's just I don't.
Actually,
like-
Chicago doesn't
yeah.
have a lot of aggravation either because you just stay right in the city. It's like the ones that you have to transport to, like
Yeah.
New York
Yeah.
City is like
hours
a
and hours
nightmare.
and hours. But just the big races like that. I do the Disney one once a year, but other than that, I have no interest in big city
big
races
ones.
like that. Yeah.
Anna
you,
wants-
Tom?
Oh, sorry, Tom.
No, that's okay. I don't know. We got into like mud runs for like a little bit,
I like those.
and I have no desire right now to do a Tough Mudder.
Agreed.
But you already done one. Well, you didn't finish it.
I didn't finish it, but I don't know.
Yeah, tough one.
Yeah, I'm right
There's
there
other-
with you.
There's others.
Yeah.
There's others. I mean,
But I like
they
short
look
mud
cool.
runs.
Yeah, they look cool, but like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm there with you. I don't need to get muddy.
Let's go back to Susanna. Do you identify with Grumpy Cat or with Garfield?
Please, Heathcliff.
All right.
That's-
You got to go off book like immediately. Like,
That wasn't part of the question.
I don't care. Nobody cares about Garfield. Heathcliff
All right.
is the cool one.
first off, it's Garfield's all the way, right? Because Garfield hates Mondays, loves lasagna, and naps.
Yeah, but what does Grumpy Cat do?
Makes
I
a
mean,
face. He's a
makes
meme.
Makes a face,
Rest in
and
peace.
he R.I.P. And
Oh, yeah, he's dead.
I mean, I feel like that's my resting bitch face, right? So I guess maybe I'm kind of like Grumpy Cat.
Grumpy Cat has a Christmas special.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Holy cow.
I identify as Odie only because I mind my own business, and then somebody just sees me being peaceful and kicks me off the table.
Oh, my God.
Diana.
You're the Odie to my Garfield.
That's true.
Jack Witzig wants to know, what is something that nobody likes that you love?
Ooh.
Or vice
This-
versa.
This will be hard for Michael.
Let's see. That's a good question. I don't know. I'm always right with the status quo. Usually.
That's true.
Oh,
No, but
normal
it's
like?
what, like normal. If nobody likes it, but you love it.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think.
I feel like I have a bunch of those, and now I can't think of anything.
I know, right? Like
That's a
I feel like
hard
without like when you're not under pressure,
Yeah,
you're like, oh
that's a
God, I
difficult
love that.
one.
Why does no one else ever like this? But now that like you're in the question, you're like,
Pooping in the woods?
Okay.
that's such a weird one.
Okay. I'm going to say baloney.
Oh God, I hate
Oh.
bologna.
That's
I
a good
l-
one. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I only like bologna when it's fried. Fried bologna
So
with
good.
a little cheese melted in the middle of it, and then you fold it so
Oh.
that the cheese melts in between. My mom used to do that, and I used
Yeah.
to really love it. But the only way I would eat it was if it was fried.
Oh God, I can't think of anything. I like and nobody else likes.
I have something for you.
What? Oh, what is it?
And maybe people don't not like it, but I never heard of it until I met you. Hominy?
Oh, hominy.
I have no idea what
I
that
don't
even
know
is.
what that is.
It's instead of grits, it's like, I'm surprised you don't know because it's like kind of a Pennsylvania thing. Instead of being ground up like grits, it's like little balls of corn, like white balls
okay.
of corn. That's really
Okay.
good. I had that growing up.
But nobody
Ooh.
else likes it?
Oh, I know
Well,
what.
maybe because I've never heard of it.
Heard of
I
it?
I
used
wouldn't
to
say they
love-
don't like it.
Oh,
Scrapple.
Oh, I like
There it
Scrapple.
is.
Yeah.
There
Everybody
it
loves
is.
Scrapple. It's the best.
Not
no,
everyone.
Scrapple is
Yeah.
Everyone
disgusting.
hates. Everyone
Everybody
hates.
Oh
Scrapple.
loves
God, that is
Scrapple.
it's disgusting.
Scrapple, the best food in the world. I used to love. Remember the giant pieces of not cream of wheat, shredded wheat you would get.
Oh my
The
God, my dad
bricks
used to
of
eat
shredded
those.
wheat. I loved those.
Guys, I'm about to admit something that I used to eat when I was
Oh, no.
young.
Is
Speaking
it
of bologna.
Scrapple?
Speaking of bologna, the weird part is I don't like Scrapple, but I used to. My mom, because it's my mom's fault. She used to feed me liverwursts from the time I was like
Oh,
really
God.
little.
Oh God!
That's
You might as well eat Scrapple. It's better.
It's but like it's been. I don't know whether I'd still like it, but when I was younger, I used to love it. And then I went to college, and I would like buy it, and people were like, "What are you eating?"
Yeah, because it's terrible.
That's
Terrible,
the right response.
terrible. Trying to think. Oh, what else I do that everyone else hates is as soon as I get a Funko Pop, and I have probably 100, I take it immediately out of the box.
Oh,
And then I trash the box because I don't care. I just want it to
Love
look
it.
cute on a shelf.
Yeah. I'm sure there's other things that are like way less
Yeah.
gross than what I just described.
I know,
but I
it's
can't
hard.
think of stuff. All right, we're kind of making our way through. Susanna's got some. I'm gonna
Can we do some rapid fire?
Rapid
I'm gonna
fire.
run
Let's do
through
rapid
these
fire.
real
These are
quick, right?
quick
Yeah.
answers.
What do you consider an odd question? I don't know. All of your questions are odd, Susanna. Will pigs fly?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
No. How would a pig fly? All right. Anyway, do you believe in UFOs?
Yes.
100%.
No, I don't.
Depends on the definition. Are there things, aliens visiting? No. Are there things that people see they don't know what they are? Yes, because that's the actual definition.
Okay. Do you believe in the supernatural?
No.
I don't know.
Yes and no. Like,
All Diana wants, wherever we go, is to meet a ghost, and hopefully it's Devon Sawa.
So, like,
look.
I believe in, like, energy, but I hate, like, mediums. So,
Look.
like, I'm so torn with, like...
Here's my questions about ghosts. How come they're all like
Old-timey?
Civil War? Yeah. Why aren't there any disco ghosts?
Where's the ghost?
Why aren't there
where's
any
the
hippie
ghost
ghosts?
screaming about justice for Britney
Yeah.
from 2007?
Yeah.
Oh
Where's
my
that
gosh.
ghost?
All right. Rapid fire.
Go.
Rapid fire. Have you ever run in haunted woods? Since I don't believe in haunted woods, no.
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 Okay.
No.
Who built the pyramids?
The workers in the Egyptian Empire. Like, I don't know who
The
else
workers
built-
with...
So random. Okay, Susie runs.
According
No.
to a documentary I saw, the Transformers built the pyramids.
I'm going to say ancient aliens built the pyramids.
Oh, Susie
Oh.
runs 50. Which store would you max out your credit card in? I mean, come on. I've maxed out my credit card over the last few weeks at freaking Raw Threads. So I guess at this point, I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. Raw Threads is probably a good one.
REI.
REI?
Yeah.
That's probably good for you.
Coles, make that coal cash.
Cole's
Coles cash rain, baby.
Oh my god.
Gosh. Did you everyone say something?
Yeah.
Okay. Anna runs a coffee. What is your favorite song? I don't know that I have a favorite song. Tom, this one's for you.
South of Heaven, Slayer.
Oh, that's a great one.
The way you look tonight.
Living on a Prayer, because when I was a freshman in high school, Tommy had a crush on a girl named Gina, and that song spoke to me.
There you go.
What is the most useless thing you've ever bought?
My entire house. I'm going to be it's full of crap. The most useless thing I've ever bought.
Yeah.
I can't think of something useful I've bought in the last 6 months.
I have no idea. I mean,
no, I'm sure there's a bunch
I'm
of useless
sure there's
crap.
a
Yeah.
ton. And then, like, you buy it, and then it sits there, and you're like, I'm going to use this for something, and then you never use it.
Yeah.
It happens all of the time. So I'm trying to think.
Yeah, I'm looking around here, but we don't keep a lot around anymore.
Yeah.
For me, it's the scale that Diana bought and is in her bathroom.
Oh.
Because I don't go anywhere near it.
Maria wants to know why Suicide Squad 2 was an awful movie.
Why what?
Why Suicide Squad 2 was an awful movie. She's still angry she had to sit through it.
I don't know. I
It
didn't
was
see
better than the first one.
Yeah.
Come on.
And it spawned the Peacemaker series, which is
Which was
arguably
fair.
arguably the best thing DC has ever made,
It's fair.
including the Snyder Cut.
All right. I haven't seen it, so I have no no response to this.
No.
If you had to end a podcast, please don't. How would you end it?
And just stop doing it?
Yeah, I would just disappear.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'd just ghost everyone.
Well,
Yeah.
so she saw that Tom posted something about Titanic being a good movie. Is it though?
Yes.
Yes, it's 25 years old, and the CGI sort of holds up.
Yeah, it's not the CGI didn't fail miserably.
This was a trolling question, guys. This was a trolling question because I told her that you and Michael were like going at it. So I'm pretty sure the question about how
We were just sitting. I don't think we were seriously going at
I
it.
think that the question about how you end a podcast and me telling her that you guys were fighting about Titanic have something to do with each other.
That happens like every other week.
Oh my god.
That's what I told her. I was like, don't worry. We argue about the dumbest shit all the time, and then we make up. It's fine.
Yeah, I never thought it was like an argument. Like,
And then Tom
Poor Tom
Tom
was
gets
like-
anxiety
Tom gets
about whether
anxiety.
or not it's
I
serious
hate
or
it.
not.
I hate it. I hate it.
because I know it wasn't that serious because when I was typing stuff, I was giggling while I was doing it.
We can never tell sometimes. We're like, is Diana really mad? Like, and then we're just like, poke the bear harder. Let's see how mad we can make her. Okay. So our last questions are, why is Anna the best?
Who?
How is Anna the best?
It's the same answer for both. Oatmeal raisin cookies.
When is Anna the best?
It hasn't happened yet.
That's a solid burn. with all my soul, came here just to say that we don't talk about Anna, na. We don't talk about Anna.
Is she in Shana now? What is happening?
We don't
Shana
talk about Bruno.
God.
It's a reference.
Oh,
Oh,
my
is that
God.
not? That's not a Shana Na reference.
No, that's a Bruno reference.
Shana
My
Na
God.
Man,
Oh God.
are we done with the questions?
That's really it. That's the end.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, thank you, everyone. That was very nice. We enjoyed it. Do we want to end with something good?
I like that it was a good mix of everything. And my something good is the Hallmark trilogy, The Wedding Veil. It's like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, but with a wedding veil.
Oh, that's
And there's
amazing.
3 movies. And it's got Lacey
Oh.
and Love at the Thanksgiving Day Parade and the old blonde one who's supposed to be the same age as Lacey, and I don't believe it.
I feel like that happens a lot in those types of movies, right?
Yeah, I feel like that too. Yeah.
So, yeah, they're fun. And a Valentine's Day treat, even though we're like 2 weeks after.
I have something. It's about that time where all of the summer concerts go on sale or get announced, and we are buying up concert tickets right and left.
That's true.
I love this time. I love looking forward to stuff. I got a concert tomorrow. So, yeah, summer concerts and being with friends.
You know
Right.
that tomorrow's still February, right?
Yeah, I know, but this is when they go on sale.
Oh, because you said summer
I know.
concerts, and then you said I have a concert tomorrow.
I do. Yeah, so I have a concert
It's just
tomorrow,
funny.
but we're focused on the summer.
My something good is Love is Blind. Season 2 is out.
Never watched it.
Season 1 was out like right as the pandemic was starting, and I think it may have like been right before the pandemic started. I'm not 100% on that.
So we got taken over by Tiger King and just never.
Yes,
Yeah,
and never looked
yeah.
back. Yeah. But it is super trashy in the best possible way. Our old friend Will Run for Tacos and I were having a conversation about it today, along with me and my friend Danielle, because the people on it are insane. And it's amazing. It's just the best kind of trash TV where you're like, this is literally the worst thing ever. But because it's the worst thing ever, somehow it's the best thing ever. And Michael live tweets during it because we just laugh at these people like it's just out of control.
I love
Like,
it.
I don't even understand how these people.
Is that the one where it's like the clip of the guy and he's like doing all weird stuff on the couch, like laying on the couch all
Yes.
weird? Is that from
Yes.
Love is
So
Blind?
that's Shane.
Yes.
That is one of our favorite guys, Shane.
Yes, he's amazing.
From this season. But yes, so they date in these pods. So like they never see each other. They just like are on opposite sides like of this door in these like love pods, and they like get to know each other by like having conversations, and they're deep and meaningful conversations. And then if they meet their match, they propose right there.
Oh.
And then
What?
they
Yeah.
they
Before
get
they see each
proposed.
other.
They are engaged sight unseen.
That is anarchy.
It's so great.
But are they all like attractive so it doesn't really matter?
Yeah, pretty much.
Are
yeah.
there some
the most
like.
part.
Vaguely, yeah.
No, I mean there was a couple like very like normal
Average
looking
people,
girls.
yeah.
and
I wouldn't
very
say
average,
anybody's like super attractive or anything like that. So
yeah,
they're all moderately attractive
Yeah.
in some way. My something good is warm weather. Because we've actually had a bunch of warm weather recently.
It was actually pretty warm today. Like when
Yeah.
I went to walk to the fitness center, if I wasn't doing speed work, I would have just ran outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been like, there's been like a bunch of 60, 65 degree days.
And it's supposed to be like 70 degrees this week. It's just
Yeah.
supposed to be raining that day,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
But I don't care. It's nice.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
stoked that it's
And
happening.
then it'll be cold again. I'm going to Princess where it'll be like 85 to 90 degrees.
All right, whatever.
Michael's so
The
bad.
end.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone who submitted questions. Thank you, everybody who submitted fun and not too trolling questions. We really appreciate it. Thank you for our wonderful 5-star review. Please like, subscribe, share the pod with your family and friends, and we really appreciate that. But this is Tom for Aaron, Michael, and Diana reminding you
Oh, God.
that happiness is inside all of us. Sometimes you just need someone to help you find it, and that is from the movie Trolls.
Oh my
In
God.
honor of all of our trolls.
Oh, for our trolls.
Goodbye, everyone.
We love you. Goodbye.
Bye.